Musiker board, Martin, the next generation. Although Martin might disagree.
Yes.
He's somewhere in between, I assume.
Yeah.
But definitely next generation in regard to how do I place myself out there. And that is something I would like to know from you and like to talk with you.
Mm.
How you reach your customers.
Yeah, that's interesting indeed.
Because as I said earlier to you, in the old days you would say the college would be pub A, pub B, pub C, pub D, in town A, and then in town B, C, and so on. And today the college is Berkeley or Los Angeles Music Institute, stuff like that.
Half in Dresden.
Dresden. Congratulations for that as well. But the fact is, it kind of completely turned around from where the heroes come from. And there must be a bit of hero in you if you have a signature guitar, there must be a bit of hero in you if you have an Ibanez endorsement. Where's the customer? How do you reach him? How do you make it happen?
Well, first of all, I think college education per se, I would say is a timeless thing. I wouldn't put it up against here's how our heroes became famous, here's how we become famous, we went to college. It's just education. It's just the means of learning the craft.
Okay.
So some people sit down on the radio and imitate their favorite artists and develop their craft, develop their skill.
Turn multiple of turntables by slowing it down to finally get the riff.
Turn that into their craft and turn that into their music career. With me, I couldn't help but seek out a more academic type of education because I would say if you come from a place like I was born in Zwickau and was raised in a tiny village, far off in no man's land. So for me, there was not really the option to form a band, go touring and become famous and rich. For me, it was always about becoming a very functional musician.
Okay.
About being able to work in many different fields. So
the craftsman.
Yeah, the craftsman, exactly. Okay. And actually, that's how people like Jimmy Page learn to play as well. Jimmy Page has a formal education, and he even those who appear to be complete rock stars, anti-school or whatever. He was a studio musician, and he received college education. So I think that is a timeless thing, and that is in any case, no matter what you do, a great thing. For me, it made me able to teach at college. It made me able to write books. It made me able to read sheet music, to play in a big band, to play in a rock band, to play in a jazz band, whatever, to do whatever I need to do. So education, a very good thing then and now.
And now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think going to college means you becoming a musician as a whole. Also, like right now, what I'm taking away from my college is becoming an entrepreneur, because it's a lot to do with managing your own self and your own career. So I think besides the music part that you take in the theory and harmony and everything you take, you also learn how to start and take your career out there. And by out there, I mean nowadays most of the things are online, so we get to see what are the options and what are the possibilities for us to and where to place our music or whatever we do in music. So
okay. Yeah. So you got the attention by having 1.2 million clicks on one of the videos or so?
Yeah, well, that was a very lucky thing that happened, because that happened on my very first video, actually.
Okay.
and I didn't expect that. I was just playing something 7 months after I started playing the guitar, and then I got noticed by some people on YouTube, and that
we should tell that people?
Open.
Yes, of course we do. It motivates to start.
Yeah, and then kind of opened like a whole path for me, and I could really post more videos and people would notice. But I think it has to do with the music choice I made back then, and it was really spontaneous. I didn't think through. I didn't think, this would be what attracts people. I just wanted to play, and I think it was more had to do with luck and the visuals of that video. I was sitting next to a lake and people liked the scenery and everything. But yeah, I think...
So on the business side, you made some very good decisions already in the first video.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So yeah, and then it just kind of grew from there, and I started using YouTube, then Facebook, and now I'm active on Instagram as well. And as of in the past month, I also am active on LinkedIn, which is a growing network that I kind of try to still understand. But I think there are many options, and I think everybody should try and see what works best for themselves. But yeah, there's also a lot of different audience everywhere, so you need to also shape yourself first and kind of brand yourself. Like find what works best for you and kind of stick to it, and then try to sell that to your audience, which is very important for social media presence, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. That should help, definitely.
Yeah.
When you go out, Martin, you go for a gig or you go for a clinic?
Both.
Both.
In the recent years, of course, more clinics because of all the the Laney and the Ibanez thing. That helped me get more clinics. With gigs, it's a bit of an interesting beast. As you might have seen, I've done a lot of band performances on YouTube recently, and we get asked for gigs constantly.
The thing is, I also must say I appreciate that, because that kind of brought the complete music aspect behind your guitar playing.
It is extremely important. Yeah, it's extremely important. I mean, it has always been that way. Some people who may have discovered me through YouTube, they think I sit in my bedroom all day and play guitar, which is not the case. First of all, I learned to play the guitar in the band. I was in a school band playing rock covers. That's how I started learning the instrument, and for me, the sharing music, experiencing music as a group, and creating music as a group is still the reason why I'm doing this. That's still the biggest reward for me. So, if anything, I want to do is go on tour with a band and play music out there, and also create music with a group in the studio. It's not just playing out there, because let's be realistic. When we make a YouTube video, we reach hundreds of thousands at this point, because they've become so notorious. That group and we have a following by now. We reach hundreds of thousands of people. If I play locally, I may reach 20 people. And also the idea of bringing in people from all around the country, have them play together, highly paid musicians, some of them, it's just not feasible at this point. So we need to grow it more until we can make sure that the day we go on the road, we have an audience waiting for us. So it's very, because audience, the whole concert goer culture is not what it used to be. You probably know that. The numbers are going down. Great acts don't get any audience nowadays.
I think it's when I go to a concert and look around, I end up seeing people 30 or 40 plus.
Exactly.
That kind of remember how it had been going out, like getting rid of all the problems they had during the week and party out on a concert on Friday.
Because you know how it is, you experience it, and you know it's better than it's the real thing, right?
It's in the first place the real thing, but everything kind of moves to that social media. At the moment, and you've been with him yesterday, even the guys that talk about gear don't write a newspaper anymore, they're in social media, they get millions of clicks. So I think that the whole scenario kind of moves over, because people, I don't know, since we're not allowed to drink anymore, we don't go out? Because we can't get home, or what is the trick behind it? I don't know.
The thing is, as a musician, I just think very practically. As I said, when I reach more people making a video than going out on tour, I'll just count my losses when I just see what works best for me, and that'll naturally be the thing that I'll be doing. Whatever works best, really. Whatever the demand is, I'll adapt my supply for it.
Yeah, but if you go back to like the Blues Brothers film, there's nothing better than having the crowd in front of you go
I
crazy.
agree with you.
And refill your tank.
Again, some people who get to know me through YouTube think I'm pigeonhole me as this internet guy. I'm not. I was born in '85. I know what it is like to listen to vinyl records. I know what it is like to go to gigs. I know what it is like to rock your ass off with your bandmates.
Yeah.
I know exactly what it is like, and I love it.
Well, there are still people my age that do that. I do that still. I go to concerts and I see musicians that I like live.
Yeah.
So I think there's, I mean, I don't wanna, I wouldn't say to generalize that nobody from my generation is checking out concerts.
Not
but yeah.
Of course.
No.
Yeah, it has changed.
It's easy to sound like an angry old man.
There's not a complete break, of course.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Ultimately,
But the way they get attracted.
Oh yeah, it's definitely through social media. That's how they promote
But if
their
I go to a
tours.
concert, I kind of know the guys that are playing there because I've seen them or known them kind of forever.
But how did you find out about Led Zeppelin back in the day? You heard them on the radio, and back in the day, there must have been somebody who said, "Oh, now there's this radio thing, and you don't go out anymore. You just sit at home and listen to music." And then the same thing happened with TV.
It's the next level up.
It's always the same. It's just the whole generation conflict. It's just the same thing that happens over and over, and it'll get worse. It's just prepare yourself.
Well, why worse? Why call it worse?
Why call it? Worse. It'll just keep going into that direction, and we cannot stop it.
Yeah.
So what you do as a musician is you either sit at home and you moan about it, or you adapt. Those are the two choices you have.
And you have to adapt. Otherwise, things will go down.
If nobody forgets to make good music played live in the meantime, I'm not. I'm with you.
I also think that music made in a group, that form of human interaction that is going on, that is timeless, that will not go away unless human interaction in life goes away. Because there is a need for us human beings to communicate, and there is something so much bigger than life that happens when a good group of musicians plays together that no MacBook in this world and no GarageBand and no Logic can recreate. It's just the way it is. There's a thing that can happen that is much bigger than that.
I totally agree because we've been in Orlando and we visited. A friend of mine was playing the B.B. King Blues Club as a house musician on guitar. And we've been there to visit on my birthday, and I had a friend of mine with me that is a really decent blues guitar player. And for the last set he just joined in. And then they couldn't stop them. Those two were kind of a match from the first second on. And you thought, okay, must be like twins taken apart after birth.
Soulmates.
Soulmates, yeah. And like 2 hours later, everybody was been hyped up. The club's still been completely full, although closed since an hour.
It's the same thing that happens when you meet somebody that you don't know and you get in a conversation and can't stop talking. It's like, wow, amazing, where have you been my entire life? That's the same thing that happens when you sit in with a group of musicians and it's like, boom.
Where it works.
That's the exact thing that happens with my band that I drag into the studio.
Okay.
The initial idea for me was to do those live sessions every once in a while, get a couple of different people in, but the chemistry was so good that everybody just kept asking when we're doing the next one, when are we doing the next one. Now we're just going to stick to the same group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, see you all today live and from tomorrow on again in the internet.
Yeah.
Thank you for making the stop. Thank you for sharing the inside view on where performing music will go. I completely agree that the reach you have through internet is enormous. If it stays human, that's cool. If sooner or later the acts don't have a face anymore, we're gonna find the next way of distributing ourselves. Thank you for making the stop.
Cheers, Martin.
Cheers.